Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and tell a friend. Okay, so this is another bootleg catch-up session. We're raw dogging it today. Hey y'all, welcome. Happy Friday. Come on in, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. In this first session, we are going to be doing 3 episodes of Thousand Pound Sisters, season 6, episode 7, 8, and 9. Episode 7 is Turning a New Beef. Episode 8 is Peas Out Yo. And episode 9 is Bangers and Clash. So basically, I guess they're setting us up for some fights. So a quick summary of episode 7, Turning a New Beef. We pick up after the limo fight between Tammy and Amy, where they go their separate ways. Then we see Chris and Amy go to the genealogist to find out about their family tree. Next, we see everybody going to the park for some barbecue. Then the next segment is Chris takes Tammy and Brittany to Amy's house so that he could try to resolve the issues between those two sisters. Then we see Chris and Misty running errands for Tammy. How's that happening? Then we see Amy and Tammy go get their passport pictures to get their first ever passport. This trip is really happening, y'all. And next and final scene in this episode, Chris gets the family together to prepare them for this 5K run that he has signed them up for. Okay. Have at it, Jamal.
So for me, this episode, I just didn't get much out of it because for me, this was a lead up to London.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was good to see them out there exercising and, trying to do the 5K. They were all seemed to be committed. I said all seemed to be committed. But, they was out there. They was doing their thing. Now, one of the only key points I really paid attention to was when they were at the pond or the lake, or whatever, right? They're all walking along. They're doing pretty decent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, Tammy and Amanda were sitting alone. Amanda said, I kind of want to talk to you now. We're by ourselves. What can we do to move this forward? Like, how can we get past this? And it took me back to what you always say about Tammy. Like, she holds a grudge, and she just wants to basically comes across as wanting to be miserable. And Amanda didn't even come at her sideways. She was just trying to talk to her. She's like, look, we're going to go on this trip. I'm moving. I'd like us to move past this. I don't think anything's happened to where we can't move past this. So what do you think? And, Tammy got defensive. And then Amanda's like, hold up. Like, I was out here defending you in these streets when, like, no one else really was. Like, I was speaking up for you when you couldn't for yourself. And Tammy's like, well, don't bring that up. Don't bring it up. Why are you bringing that up? She's all, because it's irrelevant. Like, what are you talking about? So Tammy acts like a child and storms off. I'm like, yeah, I see what Debbie's talking about now. She just wants to be miserable. She doesn't want to move on. And there's no reason for her not to at this point. So she's just dragging this on for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't fault Amanda in this situation. I really can't.
Amanda tried. She was the only grown up in that conversation. I don't try to reason with a child that's unable to reason back with me. You know what I mean? Like when you got that little toddler and they just want to have the tantrum, so you just let them. There's no stopping it. There's no nothing. You're going to get locked up if you start, beating them or whatever, or punishing them, whatever. So you just let it ride out. And that's how I feel with Tammy.
Was doing.
Yeah. She was trying more than I would have, though.
True. That is true. I think you would just got up and left.
Especially after Tammy got up, because this was the conversation. She got up and called her a slut.
Yeah,
Yeah, that bitch would have wound up in the pond, and I know she wouldn't be able to get out.
but she said what she said when she was walking away though.
I would have got up with my bum knee and everything. I keep calling Amanda a linebacker. I would have bum rushed her right into the pond and left her.
So you're a fan of jail time. Beautiful.
No, it would have
Um,
been an accident because the medications from my knee would have set me off.
stop it.
My knee
Oh
got
my
locked and I fell into her, and then I couldn't help her and me. So, what did they tell you on the airline? Put your mask on first and help
right.
everybody else afterwards. So that's what I did because I'm training for my new trip that I'm going to the UK. It's the first time I'm ever going anywhere, and I'm listening to what the travel agent told me. I would have had a whole
True.
story made up. And besides, she still got
True.
fat. She could have floated.
Stop it.
It just wouldn't have been me helping her out. I'd have helped her in, but I would not have helped her out.
Oops. And I think along the lines of the 5K, Tammy saying that she overslept. Okay, I would rather her just said, you know what, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not up to it. And she could have still got up and went with them and had bottles of water and bananas for them when they got done. But she couldn't even do that. Okay, here's the thing. If you're going to show up late and not walk, why even show up?
Because production told her to get her fat ass out there if she wanted to get paid.
Debbie said that, y'all, not me.
I'm speaking on behalf of production.
Okay. We can go with it.
Honestly, what did she contribute during this episode? What did she contribute?
Nothing.
And Chris and production were trying to get up her endurance because it comes up in a couple of episodes where she can't walk. She's not doing any of the exercises that are needed. She went to the gym, she had weights, and they were sitting next to her, next to the jar of pickles. She's not doing anything to help progress her weight loss. She's not doing anything to help progress. Like, she has mobility, but Chris says she don't got no endurance. And they knew they were going on this trip, and she has
Right.
done nothing. Nothing. So, in my opinion, seeing this, she's preparing to fuck up the trip. And I look forward to the trips.
Right. Where does it go? Where'd it go? Real quick before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Little lady says, Tammy says there's a lot more to why she doesn't like Amanda that isn't shown. Kristoff agrees. Tammy
But we can only go
says,
by what they're showing.
right. Tammy says, we have to remember we're only seeing a small portion of what actually happens in their daily life. Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
But I'm only giving you my reactions on behalf of production based on what we see. It's like their argument is stupid.
And I agree with Little Lady. Little Lady says, I'm not trying to take up for anybody, but I'm just saying there might be a lot more that we don't know, and we're just assuming Tammy's been childish or attitudinal. True, but this is what happens with siblings, and this is kind of the issue when you have siblings on a reality show together, because there's so many layers and dynamics. And I'm going to go to another Bravo real quick with Kim Richards and Kyle in the back of the limo, where Kyle called her sister a liar and alcoholic, and we were like, oh, what?
And a thief. And the other one called Kyle
No,
a thief. That
yeah,
she stole their mom house.
yeah, like stuff like that. Like we're like, what? Like we hear that,
But
we
that
hear
was
both sides.
genuine, though. That was genuine.
It was, but I'm just saying, for all that to come out, we don't know what happened before that, what's happening during their lives. So I agree, like we don't see everything, but as people on the YouTubes, we don't really like to guess or assume. We can only go by what production is showing us.
Look, Tammy's had a bad attitude like all the seasons that I've watched, all of them. She gets in her feelings like every other person does. But where it's different from me is that she has signed a contract to show her ass on the show. And that's what she's doing. That's what she's doing. I feel that production is forcing her to be in close proximity to someone that she's actively in an argument with, and she doesn't want to be there. So this is her reaction.
Exactly.
And in her head, she's thinking that she's not giving them what they want. So they're going to cut and splice and dice until they get what they want and slap it on our screens.
Exactly. And I think we're all savvy enough to understand, like, a lot of the good stuff gets cut on, like David said, gets left on the cutting room floor for some reason. And we know that. We've been watching these long enough. But again, as I said, we can only react and critique what we're shown.
Child, let me tell you, when they got to that park and Chris rolled up with the barbecue, he said that's the only way he could get certain people to the park. Well, why is he still eating barbecue if he has to lose weight for weight loss surgery?
True.
Like, isn't barbecue sauce full of sugar?
Some.
Like vinegar and ketchup.
Some are.
He makes his own, doesn't he?
I think Chris makes his own.
So it's full of sugar.
Exactly.
Okay.
Before we move on to the next episode, Auntie says we have to have the drama. We do, but like we kind of want the juicy stuff, not these like petty little arguments. Like we want to know what Amanda did to Tam that make her hate her. That we just want to know, because the stuff that we're seeing and hearing is kind of petty when you in the grand scheme of things.
So Scotland said, I just want to know when 1,000 Pound Sisters turned into whole damn family, when they started giving everybody surgeries.
Yes.
And you notice that it's now at the center of the family seems to be Chris, because he's organizing everything. He's providing housing. He's providing the meal service. He's going out and doing the shopping. He's the construction team. He's the transportation organizer. He is everything for this family, because Amanda is stepping back.
True.
Interesting.
Well, Wendy has a good point. I agree with Wendy. All right, Wendy says they need the family because the girls don't do anything now except lose weight and run after them boys. But Amy's not losing weight, though.
Yeah, Amy's not losing weight.
But remember what I said, though. Remember what I said. The series should have ended with Tammy getting weight loss surgery, right?
Yeah, and we get one follow-up after she lost everything.
Yes, but in order to keep the show moving, they needed the family, because the family dynamics were more interesting than watching Tammy and Amy bicker. That's what it really was. That's just my take on it, because Tammy and Amy arguing gets old very quickly, and they argue over dumb stuff. But when you throw in the family dynamics of Chris and Amanda, you throw in Misty. Now we got Brittany giving us a little bit. Then you throw in the mama for a cameo. It makes for a more entertaining show. They couldn't carry the show by themselves.
Yeah, we heard this too, and it kind of makes sense. But if that's the case, why is she blaming Tammy for that? I mean, Amanda for that. Why is Tammy blaming Amanda for what Amanda's ex did because you didn't pay the rent?
Probably production.
She has employment. Why isn't she paying the rent? In real time, Tammy had her skin removal yet? I don't know.
Not that I've heard.
They could be using sugar-free barbecue sauce, but I doubt it.
Okay, I'll say about this. I'm gonna be honest. I am not using sugar-free barbecue sauce on my good ribs. I'm just not doing it. Maybe on some like hamburgers I'm cooking for other people with that 80% ground beef. Yeah, I might use some sugar-free barbecue sauce. But I am not using sugar-free barbecue sauce on my good ribs. I'm just not doing it.
Oh my god. Okay, so you've heard Jamal say it like it is. I agree with you. If I'm having ribs, I want like good barbecue sauce. I do.
Just have a good barbecue sauce and go in the sauna and sweat it out like for 30 minutes. You'll be fine.
Oh my god. Tammy said Amanda's kids destroyed it and nothing was getting fixed. I wouldn't have paid rent either. I need to see videotape evidence of Amanda's sons destroying the house. I really
Mm-hmm.
do. I really do. Because why would they destroy their father's house? Doesn't make sense. As in the Tammy said, she withheld the rent because Amanda and her husband were refusing to fix the house. She said that she paid a lot to put things in the home, but they were bad landlords.
I believe that because
Again,
Chris said I can lean in this direction, and the reason why is because Chris said you put a lot of money into this for you to just leave now, and we were looking like, where's the money? So
but that could be rent. That could be rent that she's saying she put into the house. Now, if you have a problem with where you're living and your landlord is not making the adjustments that you need and you don't think that it's worth the rent you're paying, you break your lease and you say, I'm moving someplace else. Now, on this show, we went and we found other places that she could have moved to that were not family subsidized. And she could have had a beautiful place, ground floor to live.
fair. That's
But
absolutely fair.
this show also showed us that she has a habit of living with family until they throw
That
her
too.
out.
Hmm.
So if her landlords, Amanda and her ex-husband were so bad, and Amanda's children were so bad, she had the option to go and look for another abode. And the show is centered around her. Production would have went and filmed wherever she moved.
1,000%.
And they would have picked her up in a car and brought her to wherever she had to film. That's it.
Yes, Wendy. Mama Slayton said Tammy and Amanda fought their whole lives. They just fighting
Over
over pickles.
pickles.
She's
Mhm.
Chris's baby princess, and Amy is that for Amanda. I can definitely see that.
Mm.
All right,
Anything
next
else on
episode.
this episode?
Nah.
Okay, so they basically end off this episode fighting. Like I said, oh bless you. Um, Tammy walked away calling Amanda the S word. So we go to episode 8, peace out, yo, and we pick up at the pond with the argument, and everyone walks away. Right, Tammy had legal renters' rights if it was that bad. Yep. Yeah, Ryan, I agree with you. Um, Apparently it's the day of the 5K race. Um, no. They are practicing for the 5K race. I don't know. There's a 5K race in this episode. It's also a moving day for Amanda. She's moving to Florida. Brittany, Tammy, and Amy go to the travel agency to learn that we speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, he goes back for another doctor's visit. Tammy actually lets the doctor assess her this time. Amy needs help packing. And at the end of the episode, everyone assembles at Chris's house to get ready for their UK adventure.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take much from this episode. The only thing I took from this episode is Tammy
Mm-hmm.
actually let the doctor assess her,
Mm-hmm.
which she understood. Like when she thought about it, was he can't do anything for her without assessing her. So I'm glad she did. But he said that he doesn't have a big enough team to handle her because she has so much loose skin, and I'm very curious to know how much does she have, because if his office can't handle it and it's going to take multiple people to do it, I want to know how much she has. And
He
for
said
her, Go ahead. Go ahead.
He said he could do 15 to 20 pounds of skin removal.
Yes.
We all know she came down from 550 to where she's at now.
Well, technically 700, but I know what you're saying.
Right.
Right.
But here's the thing. This made me feel like he was assessing her, knowing fully well he wasn't going to be able to do this. And it was a circus attraction at this point for him. That's how I felt about that.
No, I get it. I get it. Free promo for his business. I get that. I understand. But if he could only if he could only do 15 to 20 pounds, and the way he was looking, he was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "How much do you have?" Like, it would be it would just be cool to see her get the Vanessa treatment. That's all. Granted, she's a sourpuss and everything, but she's put in the work. She's done her time. She's done really, really well for herself. I'm just like curious. And Chris said it. I think Chris told her the best way. He's all, "Look, he didn't tell you no. What he said was he doesn't have the manpower to do it."
Yes, he did tell her no. What language are they listening to?
He didn't say no. He didn't say no to the surgery. He's a I just can't do it for you. That's what he said.
That's the equivalent of no. Because he is not risking his good license and his good practice to satisfy her childish behavior. She should have known if he could do Chris, he can't do you. Because you got all from the forehead down to her big toe. I'm sorry. I just felt like that scene was stupid to put in because he is not qualified to do that. He has a small operation. Just send her over to the major medical center, get all 100 surgeons to come over there, and they will take turns doing her surgeries. And it's not just one surgery she's going to need. She's going to need multiple surgeries over many, many months. I don't understand why she feels like she's entitled to get skin surgery without really understanding what is going on with her. And now we find, oh, well, never mind. I'll get up to that. But I just thought her reaction to it was stupid. I thought and unrealistic. And I thought that he should have never been looking at her. I am not a medical doctor. I don't have that type of education, degree, certificate, nothing. I am past no boards or nothing. But I could look at her and I could tell that this guy could not handle her. He does not have the staffing to do it. She's a special case. She has lost an extreme amount of weight. And then she has those fat pockets as well.
Right.
I am sorry. Like, I would not want to be going to no drive-through surgery to get that done. You hook me up to Mount Sinai, NYU Medical Center. I'm going to need all the specialists coming in. Don't put this up as entertainment value for me because it's not. You are making her seem like some sort of circus act. And everybody needs to take a peek. And that doesn't ride well with me. Sorry.
I can see that because, like you said, if you knew, okay, I'm not gonna say if you knew. I think that he didn't know he was dealing with it until he actually got to assess her. So I'm not going to downplay him on that part. Where I do think where they went wrong was the way they delivered it. What, in my personal opinion, what they should have done is he's like, come, I want to bring you back and I'm going to talk to you about this. And he should have brought her back in or took her to the office and said, "Hey, I can't do this for you, but what I can do is I can make some calls to see who can best serve you. I'm going to give you some names and some numbers of the best medical people that I can think of, and I'm going to have you contact them." Doing it in that way, the way they did present it to us, it does seem very harsh and very not caring.
Here's the thing, though. what's his name? Chris was referred to this doctor from the bariatric doctor. He was
Right.
referred to this plastic surgeon for his situation.
Correct.
Chris told her to come tag along and maybe my doctor can see you too. First mistake.
True.
First mistake.
True.
That's why I'm
I
saying
did forget
this
that.
doctor is using Tammy as a circus act. Curiosity. It is, I understand, and that's why I put it up here. Thank you, little lady, because this is a very good point. You need to be referred to the specialist. It should be the bariatric doctor referring her, especially her, to a surgical team to help remove, because these are not only skin has to be put back together, veins, arteries, all of that got to be put back together and make sure that that skin don't die and the veins keep pumping the blood. It's not as simple as Chris. And we are not stupid either as an audience. And I think it was insulting to us to show us this. And it was insulting to Tammy. Tammy needs to know exactly what's going on with her medically. And we need to see an accurate portrayal of that to us so that the people out here in the audience who are looking at this and looking at her as, you know, a guide to extreme weight loss, they're not deluded. They're not deluded. Oh, Jamal, you look good. There you go. Don't he though?
Thank you. And I gained some of the weight back, but that was to be expected.
Yeah.
But thanks,
Well,
Auntie.
you'll keep trying at it, just like we all do. No, he is the doctor. He knew Tammy was a different story than the others. Here's the thing, though. I don't think Chris should have suggested this. I don't think Tammy should have bought into it. I think the original bariatric doctor, when she is ready, because he told her she needed to come down some more, when she is ready and at the right point, he will then refer her to a specialist team for the skin removal surgery, because that's going to be a whole different kettle of fish. I didn't appreciate them throwing her in there on Chris's appointment. We got enough time. We got enough seasons where because I expect to wait a little bit longer for her because she had the most to lose. You know? The guy is the second opinion, right? Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. This guy is the second opinion, right? Was he the second opinion on skin removal for Chris?
No, it was Vanessa who had Best Friends who got the second opinion. We're at the doctor
3.
that
She went to 3.
Vanessa, yes. But on this show, it was just this doctor. This is Chris's appointment. But like Debbie said, Chris asked Tammy to tag along because he thought maybe he could do you too. Not understanding like what she really needed.
So, little lady, I get what you're saying. But in real life, a doctor's not going to look at you, especially a referral, is not going to look at you like how they portrayed on this show. You can't just walk in with your friend and expect that, you know, you can bust in on their appointment with your issue. It doesn't work like that. At least not with the doctors that I've associated with or handled with my mom. I could have slipped and fell in the office and busted up something on me, and they would take care of my mother's appointment, and they would say, well, you know, we're not touching you because you're not our patient. Period. So that's where I think they've deviated from being like a reality show, because this isn't reality when we go to the doctor. Maybe that's the only plastic surgeon in the area, so you figured the doctor was going to send her there anyway because she wait, hold on. So you didn't continue. Okay. Just like when he took her to those pods trying to prove the doctor wrong, and it said he was even heavier than the scale. Thank you, Wendy. Because I was saying he looked bigger. He did look bigger, but that was just me. Remember, y'all, the bariatric surgeon told Chris that he needed to lose like 40, 50 pounds before he could have skin removal. And he got upset. So he went to the plastic. No, did he go to the, wait, did he go on his own? Because the bariatric surgeon would have had to forward his records. Because remember, the plastic surgeon said, I have your records and I reviewed it. And it was just like Dr. So-and-so said, you need to lose another 15 to 20, no, 20 to 30 pounds. And that's when he started like doing, like really staying on his diet and regime. And then he came back this last time and he got to where he needed to be. I'm trying to remember. Jamal, you remember better than I do.
I can't, for some reason.
He went to the bariatric doctor, and the bariatric doctor said he needed to lose 50 pounds more.
Yes.
And then he went first time to he went to the pod. He was still big. Then he went to the surgeon. The surgeon told him, the plastic surgeon told him, you need to lose 20 to 30 pounds because he had only lost 15.
Right. That's when he got frustrated. And that's when he really was pushing this last time.
I forgot about that. I'm sorry, Chris went on his okay, so even so, this plastic surgeon still got his records from the bariatric doctor and told him the same thing. He still had to lose weight. Because this was his second time at the plastic surgeon. Because remember, the first time Tammy wouldn't show him, wouldn't do the assessment.
Right.
It's only this time when he got approved, she decided to do the assessment. Because he didn't like what the first bariatric was fine. He wanted a second opinion, and he had lost about 15. Right. And that's when this plastic surgeon told him that on the first visit, he had to lose 20 to 30 pounds. Going for a second opinion. I thought that's what this doctor was. Oh. How's more visiting the bariatric? Wait, what? Says how many? How's more visiting the bariatric surgeon? And when he went to this doctor, the doctor told him he had only 20, 30 pounds. And he got super happy because he forgot that he had already lost 15. Like he did what the first doctor told him to do.
Right.
With Vanessa. Oh, yeah, it's easy too. It's easy too. And then he did invite Tammy to come along with him for a second opinion too. Yeah. Which I don't think they should have put that in. I don't. But that's just my opinion because I don't think it's realistic. Anything else? Why can't Amy pack on her own? And why does her house look like a disaster area? And why is her big toe always dirty?
Stop it. So here's where I am with Amy. So with Amy, her things I've stopped really paying attention to for the most part because with her, she's trying something always wrong. She's very childish. She's not growing up. And this may sound wrong. For me, in some therapy sessions because she's not handling she could. I get a single mom now. You going through a for her to be seeing a therapist. Than us just her act just the same way she's been acting. If that makes sense.
I agree with you because I think she needs to work through the end of her marriage, work through co-parenting with an ex, getting a family plan together so that the kids can be the primary focus of their relationship moving forward. And I don't think she should be rushing into a relationship yet until she's resolved her last relationship. So that's my opinion on that. In this episode as well, they ran the 5K race. Chris did phenomenally. He finished in like 45 minutes, and he ran, and he like, there was a flashback to him in, I think, high school, and he was like, when I was in high school I couldn't even run, and like now I'm like running. Again, Chris, like when Chris is on point and doing what he's supposed to be doing, Chris is awesome on this show, right? And he's very encouraging to his family.
Can you me? Hey, I got an interest call. Real apologies. Be right.
We see Amanda packing up to move to Florida. She gets help from her kids, from Chris, from Misty, from Amy. They all go into her house and they move out everything, put it in the U-Haul. And her sons are driving her down to Florida. She'll get there by 2 a.m. in the morning. She is ready for her new life. Unfortunately, Tammy stays in a car away from everything and does not wish her goodbye, good luck, nothing. Amy and Misty, they're sad to see their sister go. Chris is also, but it is what it is, and you can't like begrudge her wanting something new. I don't know. Jamal, you okay with the call and everything?
Oh, it was just my bestie.
Okay.
I just wanted to like take. Sorry, yeah. Quick chicken. Call him back.
Okay. No, I thought it was your mom. So no. Okay.
No, I'm actually at home today because I'm with her.
Okay.
Yes, just yeah. Her, she's good. Thank you. But back to I heard I was listening to the conversation while I was talking to him. But yeah, you register somebody for wanting something different for their life.
Yeah, and to live their own life. I mean, she's just come out of a very long marriage. I'm assuming around like more than 15 years, because her kids are older than 15. So anywhere between 15 and 20 years, she was in a marriage. She wants it, like she says, she's never left Kentucky, so she likes Florida. She likes the beach and fresh fruit. I still don't understand why there's no fresh fruit in Kentucky, but we'll move away from that. But she is fascinated with that.
Fresh fruit was just a cover. It was
but she heads off and she is happy. Brittany, Tammy, and Amy go to the travel agency. Somebody wants a translator for when they go over to England. They figure out that we all speak the same language, English. The travel agent does give them really good travel advice for anyone going to Europe. When you go over there, be aware you're not in your own country. There are pickpockets all over Europe.
Yeah.
And they drive on the other side of the street. So you have to, instead of looking the way you normally do first, you have to look the opposite way. And I think that's why her friend might have gotten hit by a car, because she was looking the wrong way. And that's it. I think she gave great travel advice.
I'm gonna be honest. When she was talking, I was really listening. I was listening to her. I didn't really care about the other ones there. I felt like she really gave excellent advice, and I was like, well, okay, this is what a travel agent does. I am not mad at it.
Yep. I mean, the internet can only give you so much information, but that's why you have a travel agent or a travel advisor or a travel expert, however they choose, travel consultant, however they choose to call themselves. They are your point of expertise. And a lot of times they have visited these places and they can tell you the best do's and don'ts and best places to stay, best activities sites and tourism tourist sites to go and see. Use that knowledge, whether you book with them or not. Use the knowledge. Okay, so we find out that Chris does get eventually approved for weight loss surgery. Yay! But Tammy does not. She's referred to, well, she's not referred. She's explained to why she can't get it. Amy is packing, and at the end of the episode, everyone gets their shit together and over to Chris's house. That's the assembly point because these bitches are heading out to England. On episode 9, Bangers and Clash, the episode starts off with the family going to the airport. They're on the plane heading off to England. They arrive to London with issues. Chris is worried about Tammy's endurance for this trip. Let's see. The family has their first British dinner and meet with a genealogist. Next, we see them do an underground tour and get some spotted dick. Next up, the family has high tea at a pub. Then we go for a visit to a town south of London where their ancestor came from. And they go into the Mayflower pub, and the episode ends as usual with a fight. Jamal.
I mean, I got nothing for this episode. Like, we're in episode 9 now, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Because I was in and out on this episode, but the thing is, though, I'm going to go back to what you said last episode. Tammy did not do the work. She did not train properly with everyone else for the 5K. Had she done that, her endurance would have been up. And what you said, I'm going to put that in my back pocket for this episode. It's, she couldn't handle the step. Blame her for it all. I get it. Those steps are hard and high. I get it. She could have done so much more before the trip. And them trying to be obsessed with being related to the queen is old.
It is.
It's old. It was cute in the beginning. 5 seconds worth. But after that, no. I'm good. So
they do find out after a revolting dinner of beef pie or whatever it was, why they took them to that restaurant with the day old stuff there. Like, they could have ate at the hotel, but maybe they couldn't after Amanda broke the chair. I don't know. But anyway, they meet with the genealogist who traces their ancestry back to a dude who was a navigator on ships. And coincidentally, he is the navigator on the Mayflower that landed at Plymouth Rock. So he's the reason why the Slayton family is here in America. We now know who to blame.
We now know who to blame. I'm so mad at you for that.
Can't say you weren't thinking it.
I mean, that would be a bold-faced lie if I did say I wasn't thinking it, but it's like, wow.
I'd be saying what you be thinking out loud. Anyway.
You just thinking had you just gone the other way?
Look. Had you just wound up, I don't know, in some sort of revolution someplace else, we wouldn't have them. Like, they'd be in Italy or something. I don't know. But it is what it is. They are here. Thank you, ancestor. They find out that he was born like 5 miles south of where they were at that first restaurant. And coincidentally, there's a pub there called the Mayflower. He tells them where that ancestor was baptized. So there's a church, and then next to it is a pub. And so they say that they're going to take a day in their vacation to go down there and see it.
But with
Um,
that being said, I really hope they take the time to really show us. I I, I want to see
well, we saw
something.
Windsor. We saw them yelling at the guards at Windsor, and we saw them yelling at the guards at Buckingham Palace, and we saw them just plain old yelling in the Mayfair pub.
Oof.
We've
Yikes.
seen a lot. We have seen a lot. Did you
I just
have
want to
high
see.
expectations for this trip?
No, but Debbie, like you said, we look forward to the trips, and I just want to see something like of substance. Talking about their family, that was of substance. We need more of that, but I don't want it to be. I just don't need to see Amy acting a fool. And I'm gonna put it.
Okay. Oh my God.
Oh, the
Pigeon.
lady. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so but I
I
think
think
she,
it's not about the. I think it's not about the endurance with him, but pain. She has all that hanging skin. That's like carrying
mhm.
extra weight. Like yes, oof.
Yes, and again, this
Good
goes back to
call.
production, forcing her to climb the stairs. When you get on those tour buses, you don't have to go upstairs. There's a lower level where your
Nope.
ass can sit down, but they forced her to do it. They're trying to get their money's worth out of her. Again, when they went to the Mayfair, she didn't have to go upstairs in the public house because guess what? There's a downstairs. But they forced her
Exactly.
to do that.
Good call.
And it's like they are like making her a punching bag. I'm sorry. They are. They were shitty this episode and they were shitty last episode with the doctor's office. But what did they do? Oh, I did like the high tea. Everybody was trying a different tea with the exception of Amy, who wanted a Coke or a Diet Coke. I think it was a Diet Coke she wanted. They tried the sandwiches. When they did the underground tour, Chris and Brittany bailed on the part, like when they started talking about the haunted stuff, because, you know, she's very religious and she didn't want to hear anything about that. So, Amy was super excited about the haunted picture that they had there. Then the spotted dick seems to be a really treat, excuse me, a really good treat for them. And Amanda wanted it boxed up so that she could take the dick back to her hotel because she don't have no dick there. Good on you, Amanda.
Hey.
Okay, so let's see. The fight at the Mayflower pub. I'm going to have to call out Amy on this because Amy, I guess, was looking for her moment and it went south. She was also looking for her moment at the restaurant where Amanda asked her if she spoke to the boys today and she started crying. I gave her that one chance. But I guess she felt that that wasn't enough for her. So when she got to the Mayflower, she starts arguing that this pub that's probably been built for hundreds of years should have accommodated Tammy and provided her with something other than what she got or whatever. Like, I don't know what the pub was supposed to accommodate Tammy with. And saying like they had big people back then. And Amanda was telling her, girl, we are in a foreign country. Like, calm down. The argument to me that Amy was making was very weak. If you're
Yes.
angry at somebody for making your sister climb the stairs, be angry at production because they could have sat downstairs.
Agreed.
It didn't make any sense at all. And I just want the shows to make sense. I don't know. Didn't have to go
And I felt
upstairs if she wanted to.
I guess for me, the way I was looking at it, because I was in and out on this episode, but with Amy, she needs to learn to read the room. Because when everyone is saying the same exact thing, like literally everyone, when everyone's in an agreement, you need to listen. You need to listen.
I love it when Amanda said to Chris, "It's your turn to go and get her. I am not missing another meal because I did that in Florida and look what it got me. You go get her this time." Why does somebody always have to go and get these siblings? I don't get it.
Me neither.
They could have just as easily gone to a different restaurant. Yep. But again, I really feel like it is production who is pushing this to make to showcase Tammy. And I'm not really liking it. I just not. It's not. It's not
It's not
entertainment for me.
necessary.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary. If we're being really honest, it's not necessary.
Mm-hmm. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And
Agreed.
that was the end. The episode ended in a fight. With Chris running out of the pub, running after Amy, trying to calm her down and I guess bring her back. I don't know. But that was it, y'all. That was all 3 episodes in just under an hour. They treat Amy and Tammy like children, so that's how they act. Chris is the biggest culprit of the coddling. Okay, Ryan. Hey,
Yeah, that's not a
Susan.
lie.
You are late for this episode, but you're early for the next show. I don't have anything else to say about these shows. I think we've done the best that we could with so much to catch up on. Susan. So give us a couple of minutes to turn around. Amy wanted a cigarette. Oh shoot. Wait, she smokes? Do they? I know Misty smoke and Amanda smokes. The youngest 2 smoke as well? I don't know. All right, guys, give us a couple minutes to turn around and we'll be right back with 1,000-pound best friends.
This is pretty good though. I'm just Little Lady says, I'm just saying, Deb, if you were on the show and production told you had to climb stairs upstairs and whatever you were aiming, you would say no, correct? Little Lady, I get what you're saying, but I think
we're not privy to their contract.
Amy is trying to say that, and when Amy says, like, these people should be doing this and these people should be doing that and blah blah blah, her frustration, her anger is misplaced.
Correct. Because Amy was blaming the facility, and clearly it is production who is pushing this.
Tennessee, Tammy was always saying no on every other trip. The one, I think, was it Tennessee in the mountains where she acted a plumb fool and refused to get out of the van?
She wouldn't even have a car. And someone had to come and drive up from home to come and take her home.
Get her. Yes.
She knows how to say no, but she also knows how to play the victim.
True.
And why was everybody's head down at that table when Amy was acting up? Everybody's head was down.
They couldn't handle it. Oh, Little Lady. Okay. Got it. This makes total sense. Little Lady says, I don't think Amy was blaming the facility. I think she was talking about production. Okay.
But what was production supposed to do? Bring in a crane to help Tammy? The only thing production could do was to seat them on the ground floor. I don't know.
I get it.
And when she goes outside, she doesn't even go up to production. She just walks away. Like, her argument made no sense to me. I think Amy was trying to find a moment because every episode, Amy has to act the fool. And I think she realized that her crying didn't work in the first pub. So she was trying to get her moment in this particular scene. And it just didn't work. Yeah, they could have, but they wouldn't because they want to see Tammy, I guess, get these milestones. But do they know if Tammy is capable of achieving that? Those stairs were super narrow,
They,
super narrow.
I'm not going to lie. I was really scared for her.
Exactly. What if she had gotten wedged in there? I don't think they care about none of these people. And
Scary. That
in
was
they
I
scout
was
locations that they want to film, they could have asked about a downstairs there. They could have, but they're not because they want to see Tammy get into these situations. The show's
mhm.
not entertaining with us just watching the family. So they're looking to get her into situations. From I don't think Amy's recovered from postpartum. She's very sensitive and emotional. Hmm. Except when she's talking about getting a new man. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Amy is blaming production. Production was wrong, and Tammy could have easily said, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing that." When she saw the stairs. Something about these last two episodes don't ring true with me, and they're rubbing me the wrong way. This isn't entertainment for me. What they're doing.
No. Mhm.
But anyway, let's go on to the next idiot show. So we'll shut down this one now. If you choose to come back, we would love to see you so that we could talk about 1,000-Pound Best Friends. So Jamal, any final thoughts?
No, we're good to go.
All right, y'all. See you back in a couple minutes.
Yes.